Hello, hello. Oh, it sounds way better now. At least the voice does. Okay, so hopefully third time is a charm. And we're back. Okay, what a mess. Oh, sorry, folks. Did we just deal with this last week, or was that 2 weeks ago? And last week was fine. I don't remember. That's not me sniffing, by the way. That's somebody else. I know I was coughing and snorting before the first stream. Oh, we're having a lot of fun, Strudel. Too much fun. Okay, so I did take Balefish's recommendation from the last crashed, or not crashed, but ended stream because of the garbled audio. And then I moved to ash sniffers, yeah. I hope they're sniffing ash. Ew. Ash sniffers. Didn't even realize what I was saying. Okay, what was I talking about? Completely forgot. Oh yeah, I did take Balefish's recommendation. I switched to bordered windowless. We'll see what kind of ramifications that has on frame rate. Looks like we're pretty locked at 60 here for now, though. So, yeah. Wow, they're sniffing all kinds of ash over there. Who's doing that? Anyway, yeah, I don't remember where we left off in terms of talking about the character. I don't think we actually got back into it in the second stream there because of the audio issues.
Like I know.
But yeah, he is trying to prove himself to the Ashlanders that sort of enslaved him, which seems like there's a lot of...
I am.
what's that issue called? Is that... It's not Munchausen by proxy. It's... although it's kind of similar. Where the kidnapper falls in love with their captors. Cocaine in Skyrim. Yeah, it's just dehydrated skooma, right?
Don't pity me. And don't look at me like that. I know what I am.
Somebody's got a chip on their shoulder over there, huh? Yeah, so... what is it? Stockholm Syndrome. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Thank you, William. But not really. I don't think this is a psychological thing. He got certain visions and stuff when the hist-infused ash sort of resuscitated him and saved his life. So now he knows that his purpose is to enact the will of the hist ash. And the hist ash in this case being kind of a combination of the byproducts of the hist that was kind of pumped back into the soil from the hist roots back in Black Marsh. And the sort of the fires of the Red Mountain, the lava and magma and all that good stuff back there. Especially the Red Mountain being one of the towers of Tamriel. There's some magical stuff going on there that might have a will of its own. And right now, the will of this so-called hist ash is that they want somebody to champion their cause for promoting life in this new environment. It'll never be as thriving as it was before the eruption, but they can kind of find their way. And that's why I took on the Bloodskull Barrow and the... oh, geez. I'm blanking on the name of the city over here. Raven Rock Mine. If we can clear that out, they can open the mine back up, and ebony being a very valuable commodity, can kind of fund their recovery a little bit more, which would be nice. So I think that kind of counts as the as Wallows and Ashes sort of initiation, harrowing initiation, to get into the good graces of the Ashlander little clan here, which as of right now consists of 3 people. Too strong. Literally, yeah. These folks are too strong. Having all these followers on legendary difficulty really kind of breaks the difficulty. So, as I was saying in the first stream, I take these guys along with me on my travels so that they can witness my deeds. But when it comes to actually performing the task at hand, they kind of take a back seat and just watch. They let me do all the work. Just as before we were clan friend, they still had us doing all their work for them. And as you can see, he's quite formidable on his own. I can go over some of the mechanics, I guess, of this character and how he plays. He is using Phoenix Strike from Forgotten Magic. One of my favorite spells of any mod ever, now that I've gotten to play with it a little bit. It's a power, actually. So this is a lesser power with a cooldown of 30 seconds, but I have the upgrade to it that helps with the cooldown a little bit. So now it's only 20 seconds instead of 30 seconds. So that actually provides a dash at the enemy that you targeted. And then after some script lag, there's an explosion and the enemy goes flying. Counts as a knockdown, so you can wail on the enemy as they're trying to get up. I am running the D13 get up, wake up, I think it's called, where you get up faster, but that it's applied to the enemies as well. Just a faster get up animation. Just a little more balanced all the way around. If you get knocked down, you don't have to wait 4 hours for your character to get up while everybody's wailing on you, but the same goes for the enemies too. And then there's some fire damage for enemies that don't get knocked down, and some buffs and things like that, and also a slow time effect that helps. Strudel, that ash cloud cloak thing, that is a rock cloak. That comes from elemental destruction magic, which adds in a bunch of earth-flavored destruction spells. And this is just like a fire cloak, except it is an earth-flavored cloak. It is called Rock Cloak. And so for 60 seconds, opponents in melee range take 8 points earth damage, health regeneration stopped for 4 seconds when they get hit, and they have a chance to be staggered. Now, that staggered thing has some major synergy with the enchantment that I have on my Ash Harpoon here. As I said, this is less of a spear and more of a harpoon because he used this weapon to hunt and fish large game back in Argonia or Black Marsh. So this does absorb stamina, which I'll get into in a second. But it also has the enchantment. I don't remember what it's called. It's called like Earth Spire or something like that. If the target's staggered or becomes staggered within a certain amount of time, it has a 60% chance, and that's tied to enchantment level. 60% chance to summon a spike of rock that flips the target into the air, also causing another knockdown. Yeah. So there's some really cool synergy with it. I actually have to recharge this guy. So that actually has a lot of nice synergy with some things that cause stagger in the game, namely the rock cloak that may or may not cause a stagger for anybody around. So that's really cool. that kind of symbolizes, you know, the ash, hissed ash soil popping up from the ground and helping out in sort of an intuitive, automatic way. I thought that was a really cool addition to this character. It kind of adds. Oh, and I've added the rock cloak to Okado's recital, by the way.
Running from Nightcaller Temple.
Oh, here he goes on and on about Mara again.
Until I was taken in
Breaking character, Arrender.
who lived in Morthal.
Yeah, so a lot of the decisions that I made in the build side of this character concept is trying to come up with a way to make it so that this concept of this hissed ash is actually another follower for us. It kind of has a mind of its own. It can work independently of what we're doing to some degree. So that played a big part in the skills and stuff that I've chosen. Now, the stamina absorption thing is important because I have taken for this character the Lord Stone. Let's see here if I can. Oh, so many active effects. Lord Stone. He allows you to power attack when you're out of stamina, but you're going to deal 30% less damage and you're not going to stagger as much. But the flip side of that is that stamina does not regenerate in combat. But if you do have stamina, power attacks do deal 25% more damage and stagger. So that as long as I have stamina, it synergizes well with that Earth Spire that will knock them up into the air. And power attacks are very important also because I am running Spellscribe, which is the power given by Ordinator in the enchanting tree. I went the wrong way, didn't I? And that allows you to dual cast a spell, hit the Spellscribe power, and after that, that spell that you are dual casting will be cast for free when you power attack. And there's a cooldown based on enchanting skill. It's pretty damn fast right now because I have my enchanting uncapped, and it's a few points above 100 now. And the spell that I have hooked up to that... Oh, hey, the Panic Monk arrived. Well, I was panicking as well, Monk, just a little while ago. This is actually the third restart of the stream. I hope we don't have any more technical issues. Yeah, thanks for that. I kind of wanted to put a unique twist on the Ashlander concept instead of just the same Dunmer thing, which is interesting on its own. I already had an idea rattling around in my head for a spear-wielding Argonian that uses earth magic. And so I saw this Ashlander concept challenge pop up, and it got the gears moving. I was like, I wonder if I can fit this in somehow. And I think I found a pretty good way to do it. I'm pretty happy with the results anyway. Yeah, so power attacks do unleash now a very powerful fire spell. And by the way, he's not using just earth magic, he's also using fire magic because of the whole Red Mountain eruption thing and how that is infused with the soil and the ash and the byproducts of the hist. So fire and earth are his main elements here. Let's see, the fire spell that I'm using is quite powerful. I think it's added by mysticism. It is called Blazing Spear. A raging fireball that deals 188 damage, and then, of course, you get the damage boost for targets that are on fire. And it is quite the spell here. Kaboom! Hurts pretty bad. And then we also get the added benefit of the actual power attack, the physical damage from the power attack, if it hits. So that's good. And as you can see, it recharges pretty quickly, too, at this level. And any second now, there it is. So that's good. I'm I'm also running one of my favorite perks in the two-handed skill tree is, let's see, not ramming speed, it's up here. Massacre. So swinging a two-handed weapon has a 10% chance to increase the attack speed by 175%. So in the video, when he would start attacking, and then all of a sudden he would go into like berserk mode and just go stab, 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 stab. Yeah, that's what this is from. It's just a really cool, really cool effect, and I think it works well with a spear animation too, because spears are supposed to be quick and stabby, and this helps achieve both. I'm also running, okay, so I'm also running Enter the Arena, which guarantees that the first attack that you do in any combat scenario will always activate Massacre. So, I mean, if you're going to take Massacre, you got to take Enter the Arena just to get the stabby scales. Yeah, I'm calling him Dusty Stab Lizard. Animation mod for the weapons. Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. That is Animated Armory. Simple as that. It adds all the... Well, it doesn't add all the spears. It adds a bunch of spears to the game and also adds animations for a bunch of different types of weapons. Animated Armory is one of my favorite. I actually consider it a combat mod and not a weapon or animation mod because of what it adds to the game. I'm also running Voice of Rage and Ruin. So there's a very small % chance to activate your currently equipped power. And I've used that in synergy with the Knowledge is Power spell, which is an alteration spell added by Apocalypse. So you actually get to convert the spell in your left hand, if it's non-concentration, to a power. And it's I think it's a greater power. You can only use it once per day. But if you equip the power that it comes, or that it results in, which is I think it's just called the Knowledge is Power spell, or the Power of Knowledge, I think is what he calls it. Shoot. The Power of Knowledge, yeah. Now this power will activate that spell. But if you leave it equipped, that perk, Voice of Rage and Ruin perk, it will not count towards your daily allotment of that power. So every once in a while, it doesn't proc all that often at all, as it said, only 4%. You will get that power. Now, I have hooked that power up to another very powerful destruction spell, which I think is also added by, or at least modified by Mysticism. I believe it's Firestorm? I think it's Firestorm. Mysticism actually changed the vanilla version of Firestorm to be a left-handed spell that just does like a fiery explosion. It's not like the big fire bolts whipping around you the whole time. Oh, sorry guys. My bad. So, 4 out of every 100 attacks that I do with a spear will actually trigger that. And that can be seen in the video a few times too. It doesn't always proc when you want it to, and it procs sometimes when you don't. But it's kind of cool. It's another one of those sort of you got the Histash in your corner type thing that acts on its own, independent of what we're doing here. Just as well Dunmer are fire resistant. Yeah, Animated Armory, one of my favorites. Actually, I was saying that I consider this a combat mod, because if I were going to do Skyrim vanilla plus just combat overhaul, I would put the very minimalistic combat overhaul that I would have would be Wildcat, TK Dodge, and Animated Armory. And I think there's one that I'm missing in there, but I can't think of it. But those 3 are probably the core of my combat mod overhaul. And the only reason I consider Animated Armory a combat overhaul is because the animations are tied to hitbox and hit detection and stuff like that. And it makes all these new weapons feel different. One of my biggest criticisms about the melee combat in Skyrim is that it's so limited. A war axe is the same thing as a one-handed sword, is the same thing as a mace. It's just the attack speeds are a little bit different. But with Animated Armory, you get all new directional power attack animations. And hit detection and all that as well. So it makes it feel like actual different weapons, and they'll have more of an impact on your gameplay. So highly recommended on that. Let's see. So we went over the rock cloak, the spires. Oh yeah, one other thing that I used in the video, which I actually think fits really well with this concept, is the Entomb spell. So this comes from Apocalypse, the Apocalypse spell package. And what this does is when you cast it on an enemy, they are swallowed up by the earth. Entombed, so to speak. And they are able to be resummoned, or sort of unentombed, I guess, dug up to help you in a fight later on. Now, it's not going to be like a fury spell or anything like that. They will still follow their factions. So if you entomb a Draugr, and then... Oh, we got a lurker. Quick save. So if you entomb a Draugr, and then unentomb him... Where did my Netch go? Is he invisible? I can't tell. Maybe it bugged out on me. Wow, you guys made quick work of him. He won't continue to go fight his fellow Draugr. That's why I had to entomb that one Draugr early on, keep him saved underground for a while, and then unearth him to fight the Reavers later on. Hey, look, it's Dusty. Of course, in Solstheim, I think we're all Dusty, right? But psh. Okay, so the Ashspawn folks up here with Captain Falxcarius, I think his name was. I already took care of that. I just kind of wanted to get my Solstheim legs on, and that was kind of the first thing that presented itself. But what I would like to do at this point is get the Ash Rune and the Ash Guardian spells from Neloth, and maybe we'll do some stuff for him too. So let's see. We talked about the power attacks. We talked about the animated spear, where the spear came from, why Wallows in Ash uses the spear as his weapon. The synergies between the different powers, the stone, the standing stone that we're using. Is there any other questions at this point? I'm sure there's some stuff that I missed. I am running Triumvirate as well. I've found that some of the Shaman spells work pretty well with him, at least in terms of gameplay and names and stuff of some of the spells. But the aesthetic of the spells don't really fit with the character, so things like, let's see, yeah, Fissure's fine. I've used this as kind of like a defensive spell just to like block spellcasters from hitting me and stuff. This is added by Triumvirate, I believe. Whoa. That kind of works for this character. It's a little cumbersome, a little bit unwieldy, and it gets in the way. More so than it actually does anything useful, in my opinion. I think you can jump onto it to kind of give yourself a boost. Of course, scaling any kind of vertical plane in Skyrim is going to be cumbersome, but you can do it if you're tenacious enough, I suppose. Or maybe if you have a horse, you get right up there. But yeah, that's another one. There's also these, let's see. They're the ones that infuse like your power attacks, and I'm blanking. Oh yeah, the stave spells here. So we use power attacks for a lot of stuff because of Spell Scribe. And then being able to reduce armor by 165 points and magic resist by 27% is huge. It's amazingly useful for this character. But the aesthetics on it is they do like these little, well, now I can't see. They have like these little runic things. It's more for, more like Norse shamanistic stuff, I think. More like a Senua's Sacrifice type spell. Oh, I got the doorbell ringing. I have no idea who it is. Let me go check. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so just the aesthetic that pops up on it doesn't really fit with the character that I've chosen. Yeah, pizza. I wish it was pizza. It was actually a nail trimmer for my dog. We haven't been able to get her to the groomer with the human malware nonsense that's going on. So now I got to learn how to trim her nails by myself. And they're getting long. I think it's getting uncomfortable for the poor dog. So that's what I'm doing today. Trying to get my dog to stay calm long enough to get her nails trimmed. Yeah, so the shaman stuff does kind of fit gameplay-wise with the character, but not all of it aesthetically. There's also a curse spell that is added. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, maybe it's in Restoration, actually. Visions of Opportunity. So it randomly finds enemies within a 40-foot radius and reduces armor and magic resist by quite a bit. Actually, I think that scales with Restoration skill. Oh, and all novice and apprentice level spells are free to cast. I thought that fit well with the thing that I got going on here about the Histash kind of being its own entity and just helping us out. It's not going to tire us out casting certain spells from Earth and Fire. Technically, all spell schools are free for novice and apprentice level. And that comes from the perk in the Alteration skill tree, Intuitive Magic. And I took both of those. Yeah, so if I run out of stamina and I run out of magicka, I still can cast apprentice level and novice level spells for free. So Earth Runes are apprentice, so I can cast those as much as I want without it eating into my magicka at all.
me concentrate.
So it's a good backup to have.
Shouldn't you be worrying about the damage?
Me watch it. You're the one who walked into it.
Has tasked Alenia with repairing the tower. Why are you doing this?
Come on, man.
Be safer for all of us.
The lab is too small. Also, I need the ashy soil. Master Neloth knows what.
Let's see. Your nails only.
It's on your head if something goes wrong.
So, let's see. What else? I'm sure more will occur to me as I... Oh, yeah. So, I've also done my own modding a little bit. You coming to talk to
We
me?
don't get many visitors. Is there something you need?
What is this place? I'm sorry. What is this place?
Tel Mithrin. It's the home of Master Neloth. You may have heard of him. He's a famous Telvanni wizard.
I did more clearing of my throat during recording the dialogue for that video than I have in like months, since well before the quarantine began, that's for sure. He lives in a giant mushroom?
In Morrowind, the Telvanni grow buildings from special fungus spores. Master Neloth grew one here to build his
Guys,
home.
there's fungus
Don't
among
ask me
us.
how.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
No, Talvis
Thanks,
is his
Magus.
apprentice.
I do a lot better in a recorded session. I think anybody who does any kind of voice acting does a lot better in a recorded environment than in a live environment. But I have to re-record each line like 8 times before I get something that I'm happy with. You know I had to, Strudel. I can't resist. Okay, here we go. Now there's a never-ending stream of fungus jokes in the chat. What have I done?
I don't think you belong here. Does Master Neloth know about you?
No, but then again, I don't know about Master Neloth either, now do I? Are you practicing a spell?
Yes, I'm trying to summon an Ash Guardian. I'm just having trouble deciphering Master Neloth's handwriting. I don't mean to be rude, but I need to concentrate.
Man, Hester is a harsh critic. Okay, so Neloth is in the big one, right? Oh, no, that's the apothecary.
Yes.
No. Okay, now I'm going to ask you guys to wait outside because I don't want Neloth to think that we're going to try to raid the place or anything. You guys look like a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. Oh yeah, I was saying I did a little bit of modding on my own. So to back up a little bit, Mysticism has makes a great tweak to master level destruction spells, in my opinion. It weakens the spells just a little bit, but it also makes things like Firestorm castable single-handedly, which allows you to add things like Dragonhide to Okado's Recital, which I'm also doing to help with survivability and stuff like that. Things like Firestorm are a bit weaker, but can be cast with one hand. Like I said, this is no longer a storm of fire. It's more so just one big expanding explosion. I don't know if that necessarily makes it weaker, but probably less potential for damage output. So it's still a little balanced. Let's see, things like Dragonhide, which is an alteration, which is why I can't find it. Also able to cast with one hand, but instead of it negating 80% of incoming damage, it just adds 220 points of armor rating. So at the armor cap, which I think is like 567 or 582 or something like that, It's a soft cap that stops at 80% damage reduction. So vanilla Dragonhide basically caps out your armor rating, is what it does for however long it lasts. This doesn't do that. It just straight up adds a whole bunch of armor rating to your character. So you may not be able to hit that armor cap. So it may not be as effective as the vanilla Dragonhide spell, but you can cast it in one hand. And it doesn't even take that long to cast. So it's very usable, and you can add it to Okado's Recital. So that's good. So the tweak that I made was to elemental destruction spells. And I kind of did a similar change to the master level Earthquake spell, which is the master level Earth spell added by elemental destruction magic. So now you can also cast this with one hand. It does take I didn't change the casting time on it, but that does allow me to convert that, or I can actually hook it up to Okado's Recital and cause an earthquake immediately in combat. Or I can add it to Knowledge is Power and have that triggered randomly throughout combat at a 4% chance to proc. The reason why I did not go with Earthquake over Firestorm is because of this. It's a really cool effect. I would imagine it would make anybody watching the video uncomfortable, as it is making me uncomfortable right now, if this were just randomly going off throughout combat. So, it's a very effective spell too. It causes knockdown, staggers, and everything, and it does help trigger that Earth Spire that we have with our enchantment on our spear. Yeah, extremely powerful, but you know, I would probably be more likely to use it if I'm playing on my own, and not so much if I'm trying to do video production with it. Exactly, seasickness should not be a thing on dry land. Yeah, so, I mean, that's an option. Now, it's fairly easy in the creation kit once you find what you're looking for to switch it over to a one-handed spell and tweak spell cast times and things like that. Hey, Simpa's here. Good to see you drop by. So yeah, what do you say we start doing this Neloth business, huh? Steward's house. Oh, I see. I was going to the smaller mushroom when I should have been going to the bigger mushroom behind it. Anybody else think that Neloth might be compensating for something, living in this giant mushroom? Or is that just something that I would think of? Oh yeah, what movie were you watching, Simpa?
I don't recall inviting you into my tower. I do hope you make this worth my while.
What is this building?
This is a Talvani Tower. It's my citadel, grown from the spores of the giant fungus trees found in Morrowind. Back in the homeland, there are other Telvanni wizards.
Oh yeah, Rush Hour is fun. I don't think I've ever saw the third one. I do love a good kung fu flick, though. The thing is about kung fu movies and kung fu like series and stuff is that there's a really fine line between being really bad and being really good. Sometimes they're so bad they're good, and sometimes they're so bad they're just bad. But I still love them.
Of course you have. Everyone has heard of the Master Wizards of Morrowind. We are one of the great houses that rule Morrowind.
Then you must be a very powerful wizard indeed.
I am likely the greatest wizard you will ever meet. Who else do you think could create a staff enchanter? If you make yourself useful around here, I might just let you use it.
Okay, so how would you like us to make ourselves useful?
First, it's ash spawn attacks. Then my home withers.
And that wasn't a
Almost
proposition.
Like someone is out to get me. I don't know, but I mean to find out. I still have some research to do before I'll know anything for certain.
Yeah, actually, I love Shanghai Noon a lot. Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. It's not a great movie, and neither is Shanghai Nights, the sequel, but they are really good for a chuckle. And those two particularly, they have a good chemistry on screen, I think.
I'm running low on heartstones. If you have any with you, I'll buy one. Otherwise, I can tell you where you might find one.
Now, recording footage, I did obtain several Heartstones, but that was not part of the current save that I'm on. That was more so just a quick save that I used to capture that footage.
Now, where did I put...
But I know where to get these things anyway, so... In fact, just checking to see if I have any. Nah. Yeah, I think even if you're not a fan of Kung Fu movies, the Shanghai Noon movie is enjoyable to watch. For just about anybody.
You've got to help me. I conjured an Ash Guardian, and now it's running amok.
Okay, I will
I was hoping you would.
take care of it for you.
Hurry. I'll keep Master Neloth distracted. Never should have come here.
You talking about yourself? Okay, where is this Guardian? Ah, there he is. Stab, stab, stab. Kaboom! It's actually very satisfying. Opening combat and then having that weapon speed boost, and then you can end the flourish in a power attack with a whole big ol' kaboom fiery explosion. It's a lot of fun. Oh, and now there's just a skeleton here for some reason. Cool. Alright, now where did this bozo go? Where is this clown? He likes to keep it dark in here, doesn't he? Oh, there he is.
Have you destroyed the Ash Guardian yet? Master Neloth will kill me, or worse, if he finds out.
Yeah, Ash Guardian managed.
What a relief. Master Neloth surely would have punished me had he found out. I don't have any gold to pay you with, but I can give you the staff.
And what went wrong with the Ash Guardian spell?
Oh, it turns out that the spell requires a heart stone to cast properly. I didn't have one with me when I cast it. If you cast the spell without a heart stone, it attacks anything in sight.
Oh, so we can take him on as a follower too. I don't think we need another follower at this point, though. I think we're good to go.
Take a look.
Now does he sell... Oh yeah, we got some actual Ash stuff here that we can play with. I think a lot of this is added by mysticism, I think. Yeah, I just recently watched the last one where he came to San Francisco and was invited to some tournament by Bruce Lee. I do like the Ip Man movies. When it comes to kung fu and fight choreography and stuff, those are top notch. Hey, EJ. Good to see you drop by. At the moment, we're trying to flesh out our Ash repertoire. I did just buy the Ash Guardian. And another spell, I think, added by Mysticism. Interesting. That it kind of has the Ash rune effect, but without the rune. And we can play with some of these too when we are doing more harrowing. Now there was an Ash rune spell, or did Mysticism get rid of that? I know I'm not running into a skill level thing because my alteration skill is all the way up at like 104 or 108 or something like that. Yeah, and I'm using Earth Rune. Excuse me. I just had a psychotic break, but I'm better now. I am using Earth Rune. I have it attached to a hotkey, and I can cast it for free with the Intuitive Magic, which is good.
All right then.
All right, we need to get some Heartstones for Neloth. We're going to see what he has to sell in terms of spells. Yeah. Okay, so these look like Shadow Mage spells and Warlock spells. Okay. He's a triumvirate vendor, I suppose. Let's go find some Heartstones. Oh, did you see a spell called Buzzkill? Or thought you did?
I've done a lot of questionable things in my life. Serving Vermina was a horrible mistake. And I hope Morrow...
Sorry, just trying to get caught up on chat here. Yeah, Ip Man. Highly recommended if you love Kung Fu movies. Donnie Yen is the man. Also the main villain in that, that drill sergeant or whatever he was, played by Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins is actually a great martial arts movie actor. Mostly plays villains because he's a big American guy. And they tend to make good villains for little Chinese dudes that know Kung Fu. What is coming after us here? Okay, I hear fire. What are you guys shooting at? I swear I can't take you anywhere. Oh, there we go. Oh. Just getting beset. So on Okado's recital, I am running Healing Touch, which is a druid spell that does healing over time. It's added... Oh, there's that Earth Spire there. The ash soil gonna get you in your bunghole. And we are out of stamina, but we can still power attack. And we can also cast fast healing for free. Yeah, healing touch, which is added by Forgotten Magic. Where are all my followers, by the way? Did I leave them? Did I not have them follow? I thought I did. Maybe not. There we go. No, they're following. They must have chased the ash spawn off somewhere, I guess. Yeah, so Akados, I'm running Healing Touch, which does healing over time, which becomes quite powerful once you get it all upgraded and everything, and that's how I'm able to survive so long. It almost looks like cheating if you were to watch like that dungeon clear video. And you just see the aggressive healing over time whenever I enter combat. But nope, not cheating. Just using some Forgotten Magic. I also have Dragonhide hooked up to Okado's Recital, which is possible with the Mysticism overhaul. So that does a boost of 220 armor rating. So we are at 525, very close to the cap now, actually. Oh, and I gotta talk about enchantments on my gear, too. Pretty simple stuff. I'm on your side. We have to find some heartstones. What am I doing here? We'll keep an eye out for them. And on Okado's Recital, I am also running Rock Cloak. Those are the 3 spells that I've chosen for Okado's. Now, in terms of enchantment on my gear, on the armor, I'm just doing a regular old light armor boost. And then the Windfall enchantment that's added by, what's the Anision enchantments? Winter Mist, I think. Or is it Summer Mist now? I don't remember. The newer one. So I have a 3% chance every second to restore health, magic, or stamina. And quite a bit of it. So that helps with restoration or recovery as well in combat. I've also, on the boots, I got Earth Resistance on there just because we do encounter Earth Mages. That is a part of Elemental Destruction Magic, is that that Earth Mages are added to the leveled lists now too. So I wanted to make sure that as a champion of the Hist Ash, that Earth Magic is not going to hurt us much. And the same with Fire. And then for the bracers, just your basic two-handed attacks, your two-handed fortification. And then I have the Enlightenment enchantment also from Winter Mist that increases experience gain. Especially when you're at high levels and you're using the Uncapper. It can take forever to level up the spells that you're actually using, so I like to have a little bit of boost on that as well. Yeah, I'm not sure which is the newer one. I think Winter Mist is the newer one. And then on the head, we have more experience gain, and just a regular old magicka buff, so that we can dual cast some of these higher level spells in order to hook them up to Spell Scribe. That's mostly what that magicka buff is for. The mask and the scarf, I couldn't find any enchantments that actually fit on these guys. So I think that about rounds it out. Oh yeah, for the necklace, I'm using or for the ring, this came with Forgotten Magic Redone. It has a health and magicka buff, and it also increases the chance to do some more burning damage effects within that mod. So there's a small chance to apply one of these Searing Pain or Ignite effects for a lot of these Forgotten Magic Redone spells. This just increases that chance. So I'm using that to get a little more burn damage on some of our fire spells that we use. Notably that huge fireball that we shoot out of our spear. Also, I'm using the Galder Amulet, which is overhauled by Zim's Immersive Artifacts. So all of our skills are 10% more effective and increase 10% faster, which is great because we use a lot of different spells. We're not, or a lot of different skills. We're not just a warrior. We're not just a sneak. We're not just a mage. We're all of those. So this is a good one to use for spell sortie type archetypes like this. Okay, so that goes through all of the enchantments, I think. Everything that I'm running in Okado's. And I know off the top of my head that there are some Heartstones over here at Rodolph's house, so we'll just go do that. And this is where I filmed the footage of Wallows toiling away in the ash here. And it would actually be good to have a supply of Heartstone for the Ash Guardians that we might want to conjure at some point too. And we're not getting anything out of this one, so let's try that again. EJ getting some lunch. What'd you have for lunch, EJ?
I always felt a great deal of guilt running from Nightcaller Temple and leaving my friends to die. I'll never forgive myself for that.
How does the mic sound, by the way? I'm using RTX Broadcast, which is the new software that came with the... Well, it doesn't come with it, but you can run it on the new 30 series graphics cards. And it has some live noise reduction in it. So I have the air conditioner and the overhead fan and my GPU, CPU fans going at full blast right now. I imagine it kind of adds a little bit of a compression effect too, just as a byproduct of the noise reduction, but I don't know. I never sound like myself to myself when I'm listening to myself. That was quite a statement. When I'm listening to myself on a digital medium. Yeah, the previous incarnation of this software was RTX Voice, which really did filter out everything except for your voice. So you could like be clicking away on the keyboard or slamming away on some buttons, or even snapping right next to the microphone, and after the first snap or two, it wouldn't pick up. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I think some people actually enjoy hearing the input method when they're watching people play games. I watch a lot of fighting games on YouTube, and a lot of people use the arcade sticks for them. And the sound of people slapping those buttons is kind of a nostalgia thing for memories of a better time when arcades were a thing, and we could all get together in one place and play games and talk trash to each other. So I like hearing the sound of the clickety-clack of the buttons when I'm watching other people play. So I don't know. It's kind of a trade-off. You also get all the weird little stuff that comes along with that, but I actually like hearing the input device. Bologna and Swiss cheese. That sounds good to me.
Need something?
Yeah, Monk, I've heard rumors that you can actually use this RTX, well, the RTX voice software I don't think required an RTX card in order to use. I'm not sure if broadcast is the same way. But it might be something to look into, I suppose. And then, you know, I'm sure you know about noise reduction in Audacity if you're doing recorded dialogue. But then you have to split it out from your game. But I'm sure you know all about that because I think you know more about Audacity than I do. Judging by a lot of the stuff that you've done.
Protect us both.
Okay, let's see. Where is Neloth? That's not Neloth. That's Argonian. There he is.
Have you seen Verona? I'm hungry.
Hey, there's Loki. Yeah. I really only have this one time slot every week to do streaming, so I try to take advantage of it whenever I can. Unfortunately, I don't think everybody in all the communities know what the schedules are for everybody's streaming, so it's like sometimes I have to stream at the same time somebody else is. Next week I might have to change my time, by the way. Balefish has, I think, a roundtable going on for the challenge, character concept challenge, and I'm happy to make room for that, but I still probably will have time either before or after that stream to stream my own game, and I will look to take advantage of that at that point. Just gotta figure out what time makes best for me.
Excellent. I'll take it. Here, have some septums.
Using voice meter, which does filter out ambient sounds, but seems only to work when I'm not talking. Yeah, so there's probably just a threshold, a sound threshold that once it hits that threshold, it just picks up everything and then mutes itself when it's not picking up something of a certain amplitude. Basically, voice activation is what it's doing. It sounds like. But yeah, the RTX voice stuff is really cool. Really cool technology. You don't expect a lot of software coming from a GPU hardware company, but NVIDIA does have some really great software that they offer as well in terms of drivers, just utilities for getting your games optimized to the certain drivers, and now for the live stream
around when you need her.
Community, they have some really cool stuff going on. Green screen now without a green screen. If you thinking about doing a webcam on your streams at some point, that's kind of cool. Yeah, Shadowplay. The thing I love about Shadowplay, it's pretty basic in what it offers, but it doesn't seem to affect the performance in game at all.
Well, find her.
I'm streaming at 1440p, very high settings, and I haven't seen a frame get dropped, at least locally. The stream quality is another matter. It's dependent on internet connection and stuff like that. Of course, Master Neloth, as you command.
Finally, someone who recognizes my importance around here.
Still a little bit of shades of that Stockholm syndrome going on there with this former slave here.
Now,
all right.
Where did I put? Oh, yeah.
I'm running the mod here because Wallows and Ash is not Dragonborn, and I don't think there are dragons in his game. I'm running a mod that makes it so that you don't become charmed or enchanted by Miraak when you go to sleep here. But also, since I haven't done the prerequisite main quest, haven't hit the states in the main quest to trigger the Dragonborn DLC quests. Oh, did something just fall out of the sky over there? Was that the wizard that was trying to fly? Looks like some chitin or something from one of the crickets. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all the Black Book stuff, namely triggering Neloth to follow us over to this Dwarven Ruin with his lexicon box or his puzzle cube or whatever they're called. So there's a lot of stuff that we're not going to be able to do. Alright, but now we're looking for this lady called Verona. Neloth needs her to make the tea. The Canis root tea. And I also have to do the requisite my Verona. So there it is. Oh, is this Dusty's keeper? Yeah, that's a bummer. Poor Dusty. Her only friend in the world. Killed by an ash spawn. But at least now we get the resonance gem for free. We could use that common soul gem too for recharging our spear. That's for sure. Yeah, Magus had the same idea. Free resonance gem. Those are a pain to find. Yeah, there we go. One of Magus and I's favorite pastime is competing at Skyrim flashcards and see who can come up with the the fastest answer. Fire Fern, this must be added by CACO. Wallows doesn't do any kind of alchemy, but I think this is the first time I've been to Solstheim. Since running CACO, so I'm kind of curious about some of the some of the ingredients here. I really need to take Alcunil, my Dark Alchemist character, here and see what he can come up with some of the new added ingredients. I don't want to take everybody back through all this stuff again. Let's see if there's anything to do in Raven Rock. See if there's something a little more compelling than just running back and forth in the ash.
I'm sorry to bother you, but Second Councillor Rano asked me to come find you. He said it's quite urgent.
Oh, does this go back to the Morag Tong? Maybe we'll follow this up.
Take you down and send you to him. Look, this is important. Even more important than wiping out the ash spawn. Please, go speak to the Second Councillor as soon as possible.
It's texting back my wife. She's been out of town for a month, and she's due back in today, so I want to make sure that I get everything set up as far as picking her up from the airport later this afternoon. Oh, I'm sure I could come up with something, Haster. Oh, it looks like Phoenix Strike bugged out. We're still on fire. Anybody remember that game NBA Jam? When you would score 3 in a row without the opponent scoring, and then you'd become on fire and you get free turbo meter. I kind of feel like I want to dunk a basketball with Wallows and Ash right now. That would be sweet. He's on fire.
Here now that you've reopened the Glover Mallory's the name. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Bring your weapons and armor to me.
Let's see here. We gotta find Second Counselor Arano. Where does he? He's milling around here somewhere, right?
I'm sorry, I've already said too much. Talk to Second Counselor Arano if you're willing to help us.
We'll see if we can speed through all the preliminary stuff, the stakeout, the espionage and stuff, and then we'll cap off the stream with taking out the rest of the Morag Tong.
Done for Ravenrock. I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed.
Velith is a great voice, I agree.
The Ulan family of House Lalu. It's a private matter. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions. It may be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being...
Oh, Haster, you know,
I'm afraid that
actually he has a perfectly good reason for coming to Solstheim. And that's because of Counselor Morvain. If you remember the very first episode of Chemical Whispers, his previous lord, spoiler alert, is actually Counselor Morvain.
I do. I've received some information from my source.
So yeah, it's actually I have an outline of where that series is supposed to go once I feel up to actually getting back there and doing some heavy editing again with all of my free time.
Ravenrock is a small settlement.
I will find a way to get him back to Solstheim, and I do actually have a story written out for that as well.
From House Lalu. I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing.
Payback, or just making sure that Morvain is off his back for good?
I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me.
Because if you remember, it's Morvain that's sending out the Redoran trackers to find him, and that's why he was in hiding for so long.
I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Ravenrock. See if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. I can't afford to make any mistakes.
Okay.
You can trust
Let's go talk to this Geldis.
for a long time.
So yeah, once again, it seems like the third time's the charm for the stream here. So I think going forward, I'm just going to do 2 streams before starting the real stream. And really only make the third one public. That would be the most superstitious way of dealing with it, though, I suppose.
Welcome to the Retching
I think the underclock and undervolt on the new GPU will probably help with everything, though. I'm hoping. Knock on wood.
Well, Agil's got himself a spy, does he? Well, Zero knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulans for years now. No, I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slotterfish...
So, what does everybody think about Microsoft buying Bethesda? That's some big news, right?
There's an Ulan ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been...
I feel like I'm cautiously optimistic.
If you were to wait inside for...
I kind of feel bad for PlayStation users. But honestly, I felt bad for PlayStation users for a while regarding BGS games. Things like Doom, though, are extremely popular on all platforms.
What makes you think I have? Anytime
I kind of wonder if Microsoft
the Ulans must have been one
is going to be more likely to put extremely popular stuff like BGS titles and things like Doom
You can thank me if
on
Until then,
the PlayStation platform, or if they're going to try to use it to sell Game Pass subscriptions through exclusivity. I wonder if they stand to make more money from the Game Pass subscription or lose money from not offering it on other platforms. Well, Hester, that's definitely how it's going to be for a year or two. I really don't think that there is enough room for two major publishers under the Microsoft umbrella. So I feel like there are going to be cutbacks at some point in the publishing side of things. Yeah, and I feel like PC users are safe. It's really more the Sony guys that are gonna hurt. Okay, where are we going here? Okay, and now the stakeout begins. Stake it out at night. Okay, so we are going to wait till about 9 p.m.
It was a bit difficult to come to the ways of
Yeah, BGS games have always run better on Xbox, even when you don't consider mod support. The PlayStation 4 port of Skyrim SE was actually pretty good. I played through that, got my Platinum Trophy on it and everything, and I never really had a problem with it. It was just vanilla Skyrim. I didn't really have any technical issues there. I think it did run slightly better on Xbox One, even without mods. But PlayStation 3, man, Skyrim on PlayStation 3 was a mess. And just the simple fact of not having mods kind of hurts. Man, I am looking forward to getting rid of this Phoenix Strike effect. Yeah, I don't know if I can until I actually successfully use it on something. Yeah, Magus, I remember you saying something about because of the extra power on the X model, they kind of tried to enforce a higher resolution on it, and it kind of mucked with things. But the S model keeps the resolution lower, performance better. Yeah, so Sony has a few VR exclusive games. Resident Evil 7 VR is still only on PlayStation VR. I really wish the exclusivity on that has actually expired. Now I think it was just a year for that, but I've been hoping for. Jeez, this is taking forever. What's going on here, huh? Do I actually have to physically wait? Or do I just sit here? Oh, there we go. I've been really hoping for a PC port of Resident Evil 7 VR, and we've never heard word of it. But yeah, I actually have played a fully modded Skyrim on PC, Skyrim VR on PC, and it's an amazing experience. Yeah, how big everything is. And you know what? I've actually been... I've actually noticed that I look at the ceiling a lot more. I look up at the ceiling, and I notice details in certain dungeons and stuff that I've never noticed before outside of VR. I don't know. It just kind of feels. It's a kind of a magical experience. It feels like a whole new world, familiar and new at the same time. I guess. Maybe just me being dramatic about the whole thing.
Ah, excuse me. I didn't realize there was anyone else here. I presume the same thing you're doing, leaving an offering for the departed. Forgive my surprise. It's just that I wouldn't expect that sort of behavior from someone who isn't Dunmer.
Oh, you're pulling the race card on me, huh? Well, you aren't in Ulan either.
Since there aren't any Ulans left on this island, I've taken it upon myself to lead the traditional offering in their stead.
Tell me why you're really here.
What do you mean? I thought I was clear. I'm simply honoring a fellow departed Dunmer. Now, if you'll excuse
Bale.
me, I'd like to meditate.
Welcome back to the chat. Okay, so I don't actually have to confront her physically yet. Back at the retching netch, I suppose. Oh yeah, you guys can follow me now, by the way. Oops. Did not mean to do that.
What are you gawking at, Outlander?
Anybody know how to get rid of this fire effect from Phoenix Strike, by the way? So this, I've noticed that this happens when you initiate the power, and the enemy dies before the explosion goes off. And even like a save and reload, like I'm going to do a quick save and a reload here, doesn't seem to fix it. The only way I can fix it is by successfully using it against an enemy.
I hope Geld has proved useful. Have you made any progress? Tell us soon. Are you sure? So Geldus's plan worked, eh? Every time we tried it, no one would ever show up. If Telesu's involved,
That's all right, Magus.
sort of plot to
I know with the a lot of us use a lot of different spell mods, so asking if somebody's used a very specific one from one of them is
I'm not kicking down anyone's
is
door,
kind of a shot in the
but
dark, I
solid
suppose.
Evidence in hand. If you're wrong about Telesu, things would quickly go downhill around here, and the real culprits might slip away.
That's an interesting solution, the wind. I don't know if this is actually an active effect, though. I think it's just a visual effect that's applied via scripting. And the script gets interrupted, or the script to disable it doesn't fire if the enemy that initiated it is already dead.
Yourself alive.
That's my suspicion, anyway.
He should open the front door of the manor in case they've locked.
Yeah, Bale, I'm excited to see yours, and I would kind of like to compare the original concept that you had for this with mine, just to see how similar they were. But yeah, Phoenix Strike, Rock Cloak, two-handed. Yeah, it kind of looks cool. It's a little bit annoying though. I mean, as soon as he goes to sit down on a wooden chair in the inn, the whole place is going to go up in a blaze, right? Alright, what am I doing here? Recover evidence. Okay, so now I got to do some infiltration. This character does make use of some sneaky stuff. Sneak doesn't fit with every character concept, but I try to add it in to most of my character concepts, just because with how clunky this game engine is and gameplay is, Sneak just really works better getting things set up and to create creative, unique gameplay scenarios that are kind of impossible without it. So I do try to make use of it whenever possible. So he is sneaky, even though he is on fire. Yeah, Strudel. That's my thought.
I think we might have a visit.
You think? I don't know about that. Oh! Nobody here. Oh my god, this is tense.
What was that?
Nothing. What was what? I don't know what you're talking about. Just a little bit of dust coming in from outside. A little bit of hard dust that really hurts a lot when it hits you.
I know I heard something.
You know it was something? No. You guys just need to do better about upkeep in your dusty-ass house here. Is what I think. There's nothing else going on here.
Anybody there?
Oh, she found me. Oops. Oh, I think I interrupted a kill move. Okay, somebody count. Loki, I'm looking at you. Are we on a death loop? Okay, now let's get Phoenix Strike reactivated here. At least we can get rid of that effect there. Yeet!
House Lala will have its revenge.
Ooh, she was rich. Look at all this stuff. All your stuff are belong to us. Anybody else? Anybody else want a little? Got plenty. Okay, now I think there was... Alright, there's the locked... No, that's the personal chest. There's the safe that has the evidence that I need in it, I think. In the bedroom, maybe? Oh, there's the safe. Okay, so yeah, once I was prepared, wasn't trying to be sneaky anymore, the combat went a little better there. Oh, you want some dusty stab lizard there, Loki? Behave yourself. Okay, follow me. Looks like the wife's flight is almost empty, which is nice. Always kind of a stressful endeavor getting on a plane anymore, but when it's empty, it's always nice. I guess you like it dusty too, huh? Let's see here.
Did you find any evidence at Severin Manor yet? Then all that remains now is chasing them down and bringing them to justice.
You missed the beginning of the stream, Loki, where we showed Wallows without his hood on, and he is a horny lizard, so...
Good. I'm going to send two of the best...
Yep, wife is on her way home.
To take them down. I want you to assist them anyway.
It was nice being able to play video games whenever I want. You know, and not have to deal with all of her reality TV. But, you know, I miss her. The place feels empty without her, so I'm going to be happy to have her back. And our dog will, too. I can only cuddle the dog so much and take so many puppet kisses. Well, that's not true.
See that you do. We can't afford to let these traitors...
I will take all the puppy kisses the puppy wants to give me. And all the cuddles, too. But I'm only one man and only have so many hours in the day that I can cuddle a dog. And this dog needs a lot of attention, so... The pup will be happy to have the second shift back, that's for sure. Let's see here... Alright.
Ashfallow Citadel's been abandoned for a long time. Be ready for anything.
Okay, big finale. We're going to take on the Morag Tong. Yeah, exactly. Never enough puppet kisses. My glasses have had enough puppet kisses, that's for sure, though. They get smudged up, like, immediately. And then I don't notice until I'm sitting at work, and I'm like, why is everything so blurry all of a sudden? And then I take my glasses off, and it's just, it looks like some kind of weird jellyfish was, like, slaughtered and then butchered on my glasses. It's disgusting. Yeah, I take care of the first shift of puppy cuddles, and then my wife takes the second shift. The dog needs to be cuddled all the time. Which I don't complain about. Because I love puppy cuddles just as much as the next guy. Ash Wanderer, huh?
I hear the callings of my great ancestors.
Is this Immersive World Encounters? They actually touch Soul Slime too?
Now, all I can hear is distant storms and the roaring fire.
Cool. Someday if I decide to introduce a webcam to these streams, which I'm up in the air about. I don't really mind it, I just don't know how much I want to invest in these tiny little streams. Maybe. I'll definitely feature the pup. It's a girl. Her name... She has a boy's name, though. She's a Beagle Dachshund mix. So she's got the round puppy features of a Beagle and the coloring. She's got the long body and... Oops. Short legs of a Dachshund. And she is the sweetest, cutest thing in the entire world. And I'm just all the way in love with her. As is the wife. So yeah, I'll feature her at some point if I decide to add a webcam. Of course, if I do add a webcam to my setup here, I might be too tempted to start an OnlyFans or something like that. The sexy Skyrim nerd live streams or something like that. I don't know. Puppy cam? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, back before the human malware thing hit, my wife and I did like to do a lot of traveling here and there and everywhere. And and we would need somebody to come stay in the house to watch the dog, but it was never a problem because all of our friends are fighting over who gets to stay at our house and watch our dog. Oh yeah, her name is Davy, by the way. Named after a character in a Judy Blume novel that is my wife's favorite book from childhood. Davis is the full name, goes by Davy. Stab, stab, stab. And we call her Davy Bones. Kind of a play on David Jones. But she likes to eat bones, so we call her Davy Bones. And I wouldn't be surprised if she comes marching in here. Hearing her name being said over and over again. Yep, that little puppy is our favorite thing. I say puppy, she's actually 12 years old at this point, I think. But she still acts like a puppy. Puppy forever. I remember this, what's it called? Ashfallow Citadel or something like that. Yeah, being kind of tricky to find your way in. Teldrin. I'll have to do better than that, huh? After all that I've showed, you still want more? Yeah, actually a lot of my techie YouTube channels have started calling it human malware because I guess YouTube was censoring or defunding videos that mentioned coronavirus or COVID. I don't think they're doing it anymore. But they were. I think mostly because the situation kind of became a political thing like everything else does. So there were reasons behind it, but there's always somebody who's going to take advantage of the new newsworthy stuff. But I think they've since lightened up on it. So yeah, all the techie channels were calling it human malware for a while, and I thought that was a nice, funny little thing to call it. Ugh, stuck in the ash. Living up to his name there for a second. Doing some wallowing. Yeah, okay, you guys, let's actually take them back outside. We're gonna do this solo. Yeah, Haggis, I'm not opposed to the idea of putting a camera on. I've lost any sort of semblance of shame and self-consciousness. Oh, are we missing a leg there? No, it was just the shadows. I thought we had like a UNP body fit type thing going on there with Janassa, but we're not. We're good. So I don't really have any hang-ups about it personally. It's just webcams aren't the cheapest thing in the world, and it's one more thing to manage on top of everything else. Streaming still isn't the most simple thing to do on YouTube. Now you'll see I always follow up a Phoenix Strike with a dodge roll. And that is because the way Phoenix Strike works is that it is heavily scripted. So there's quite a bit of lag between the actual initial impact and the time it takes for the enemy to be launched. So in that period of time, they tend to just wail on you while you're waiting for them to be launched into the air. So I always follow it up with a dodge roll to avoid any kind of follow-up attacks. Oops. That's not what I wanted. So now I don't have Firestorm available for the power trigger on a two-handed attack, but I do have another couple options here. One of them is the power that you get from the Lord Stone once you find all the different standing stones throughout Tamriel. That causes kind of a stagger and knockdowns on everybody. It's kind of like the Earthquake spell that I was showing off earlier, but it's a little less shaky cam. Or I have the Caustic Spit, which is the racial power, the racial ability added by Imperius, which does it has armor reduction added to it. So let's do that one. Actually, we'll see if we can get that to proc or trigger. There we go. So that's kind of the combination that I use. Is I'll start off combat with the Phoenix Strike, and then I'll switch powers to the Firestorm, the Knowledge is Power Firestorm ability, so that triggers randomly while I'm stabbing people. But from time to time, I'll actually forget to equip the Phoenix Strike power, and I will trigger that Firestorm power when I don't want to, and then then it becomes unavailable to be used from the two-handed trigger that we have from that perk, that Voice of Rage and Ruin perk, I think it's called. So then I have to pick a new power to use for that as the secondary follow-up. Okay, so didn't get it to trigger on any one of them. I am playing on Legendary difficulty, by the way, so this character concept ended up being quite strong. And when you end up implementing a lot of the different passives that are available in an IRIM load order, you tend to get things that are very powerful in general. Ugh. The trap knocked the cursor off target. It had me loot the barrel instead. Haster, I don't know about that. I actually don't know. Is that the one where they summon their ancestors, or is that the passive ability that they get that increases fire resistance? Why can't I activate that? They went a little overboard on the traps with this place, didn't they? Okay, so there's another chain here somewhere that I gotta find. It's like I'm playing Operation here. Oh, here we are. The one that buffs the armor. Yeah, I think it also adds fire resistance. Buffs your fire resistance even more on top of it, too. My first impulse is that it doesn't, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. The only Dunmer character that I have right now is Alcunil. I do not have Arcanum Baofish. I actually looked into it, but there was some reason why I didn't want to add it, and I don't remember what that is now. There was a specific reason, and I can't think of it. But I did look into it. I know that's one of your favorite magic overhauls. I think there was a compatibility issue with something else. Kablooey. Stepped into a little too fast there. And I don't know if I actually quick-saved. Oh, we got a crash. Okay, I'd much rather have a crash than a freeze, though, so I'm okay with that. Combustion, huh? Oh yeah, spell research. That's not a deal breaker. I don't actually mind having spells in there that aren't compatible with spell learning or spell research. I thought there was something else with it. Trying to think. I thought there was an incompatibility with something else that would require a lot of patching. And I don't remember what that is. I'm sure it has an Ordinator patch. That would probably be the main one. It could have been the spell research thing. I'll have to look into it again. Ooh, blocking enemies are staggered. That sounds nice. Assuming I've already hit them with my spear. Stagger in general is really powerful. If you can stun lock opponents in this game, if you have a consistent way of doing that, you can make any playstyle really viable at Legendary. Oh no. I might have to load up a previous save. Don't worry, we'll get through it. This is definitely Skyrim load order related. This is not the GPU issue. If you're crashing on load, that's an indication that something's going wrong, either with your save or your mod load order. I think something got borked in that particular save there. I'll try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, then I'll load a previous save. Or let's see what saves we have available to us at the moment, too. Let's try the auto... Oh, this is the one that we tried to load before and it crashed. And this is the auto save from when we first entered the location. Let's try that one more time, and then if not, then we'll go to a previous one. Yeah, okay, so we have to load a previous save. This happens every once in a while. If you mod any BGS game, for sure. Yeah, I'm not too worried about this one. I'm sure if I load a previous save, we'll be fine. But as any BGS player worth their salt knows, you gotta make frequent saves. Yeah, certain areas in particular seem to be more prone to it, especially like modded areas. Like sometimes if I do a quick save in like one of the areas added from Helgen Reborn or the Second Great War or something like that, and then try to load into that save, I'll get a crash. But it does happen in vanilla areas too sometimes. But that's okay. We'll load up a previous save. We'll hightail it over to Ash Fallow, and we'll get through it. Oh no, I forgot to load the previous save. Here we go, one more time. Got distracted. I'm a doofus. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me focus. Let me focus. I would really hate to end the stream on a crash, you know? Well, I appreciate that, Aster. Shh, it's starting. What's your cat's name, Loki? I'm more of a dog person, but I love cats too. Cats are easier to take care of, that's for sure. See how close we are here. Oh, this should probably be okay, actually. This is when we came back out of Ash Fallow to drop off our followers. So we're not losing much. Assuming it actually loads. Kizzy. Looks better already. Okay, now let's just make sure that they're not along for the ride. I'm going to do a quick save here too, just so that the autosaves don't go away after some point. And loading into the area should be fine. I think it was just a save file thing. Yeah, there we go. And also, magically now, I'm getting my broadcast overlay. I've been doing without that for months now. I have a little icon down in the right right bottom screen. It looks like it's flashing on the stream there too. It shows me that my microphone is on and the broadcast is actually live. Wonder why that popped up all of a sudden. Interesting. I do want to get some caustic spit in there, though. That was a really strange statement I didn't think I would ever say, but there it is. So instead of Firestorm, we're going to be using caustic spit as our follow-up random power. So Phoenix Strike, stab, 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 caustic spit on autocast. Yeah, Magus, there seems to be... I've had very few problems with quick saves. I've had problems with autosaves, but I like having them to back up on just in case I forget to save for a while. They save a lot of progress for me. And there seems to be conflicting reports on both sides from very knowledgeable mod authors, whether or not quick and autosaves are bad or fine. I've had regular saves behave in bad ways as well. But yeah, like you, I do have probably over 10,000 hours in this game. And I make heavy use of quick saves and autosaves, and I've had very few problems. At least very few problems that I can fix, or that I can't fix. For me, the convenience is worth any of the potential instability that you may or may not incur. Okay, here's a big battle royale. Did they disappear? Oh, there she is. Oh, she's still alive. Poke. Let's see, the F5 becomes hard save and not quick save, so you're doing the same thing, but it becomes a full save. Nice. And then you have to disable autosave in there, though, too, right? Because I wouldn't mind a hard save every time I F5'd. Gotcha. Okay, that seems like a pretty nice tweak. Yeah, I don't know if it's a myth. Oh my gosh. I stepped right on that thing. I know there's some very trusted mod authors that have walked through the entire save process and they have not found anything wrong with quick saving or auto saving at all. There have also been other trusted mod authors that say quite the opposite. And also it could just be an experience thing. It could be that quick saves and autosaves work poorly for you in your experience, and that hard saves work well. But that could also not be other people's experience. So, I don't know. For me, quick saving and auto saving seems to work fine for the vast majority of the time. So I'm happy to keep using it. Oh, yeah. Okay, that archer over there is bugging me. And my spit doesn't seem to be proccing, so I'm just going to do it manually. Blah! Oh, I missed anyway. Oh, he's healing himself, huh? Knee captain. Dramatic much? Get over yourself. I join you in death, Father. Yeah. I think we can all agree that overwriting can be a bad thing. Keep them all. Okay, well, I think that's just about it, huh? Let me catch up on the chat real quick. Yeah, Magus, your mileage may vary is the key sentiment there. I mean, yeah, if your hard saves, doing hard saves every time works better for you than relying on auto saves and quick saves, then absolutely use them. But for the auto saves and quick saves, they work fine for me the vast majority of the time, and I do take enough hard saves that if I do have to revert to an older save, it's never a big deal for me. $1,800 saves, and you say you don't have that many? Yeah, actually, I keep my saves very clean. I tend to have a hard save for the original, because I run Skyrim Unbound for pretty much all of my playthroughs. So after I get everything set up the way that I want, I always do a hard save, and then I'll have 4 saves, hard saves that I cycle between. So once I get back out of Ash Fallow and I'm ready to turn off the game, I'll make another hard save to replace the old one, the oldest one here, and that'll be like my new base hard save that I'll go back to if I have any problems. So I have a hard save for every session that I do, going back 4 sessions or so, which may not be enough for many people, but I don't have the same hoarder mentality that a lot of VGS players do, and that applies to my inventory. Like right now, I only have so much inventory because I've been accumulating some things, and I don't want to bore you guys with selling stuff off. But when I play on my own, I make sure my inventory is very clean because I don't like dealing with all the bloat there, and the same goes for my saves too. I'm also running an older version of Sky UI that has the problem of the reloading if you have a long load list, a long save list. So I try to avoid that by keeping my stuff short. Yeah, that's a good point, William. She does have a lot of characters. $21.60 for one character? That sounds like a lot. I don't have any technical reason for having a lot of saves, or not having a lot of saves. I just don't like the long list. I like a nice, tidy little list. Yeah, the Fall Room Tools thing is a last resort in my opinion, because it can break stuff. It doesn't always work. But I have used it before to varying degrees of success. Just trying to catch up on the chat here. Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. You can really bork a save. Always make a backup copy of your save if you intend to keep it, and then even then, I would say Fallrim is only a last resort. Okay, well, I think I'm mostly caught up. I hope you guys enjoy my Ashlander concept. The video seems to be getting some good reactions and stuff, so it was some work that I was really proud of, that video. Especially the voice acting. I haven't done an Argonian voice ever. So that was fun to kind of see how flexible and explore my range a little bit in terms of voice acting is. Coming from Alcanil, it was a completely different voice, and I was really happy with the way it came out. You know, after I spent hours and hours re-recording lines over and over again. The gravelly voice is one thing. It's hard enough on its own to do that, especially if you don't have a naturally gravelly voice like that. But adding inflection into it at the same time was really challenging. But I thought it turned out really well. And with the music and the story and the concept and the gameplay and everything, I thought it turned out really well. I'm really proud of it. So I'm glad you guys all liked it. Shadow scale armor. Yeah, I looked at it. I really wanted to, because this guy was an Argonian, I really wanted to try to make it clear that he was more of an Ashlander than he was an Argonian at this point, especially after being infused with the Hist Ash. So I thought the chitin armor fit really well. Sometimes, you know, there are a lot of great modded armor out there that look way better than anything you'll find in vanilla. But sometimes it's the vanilla sets that really are going to complete your character for you, and I don't think you should avoid them just because they're vanilla. Not saying that's what you were saying, Simpa, but just some kind of internal conflicts that I've had from time to time. Oh, with the... Yeah, for sure. Take a screenshot. That's a Kodak moment, right? Center it up on the screen a little bit more. Oh, got to get the moon in there too. Although with the pyramid ash there, it's not looking too great. Yeah, it's just an internal conflict that I've had is like, I have all of these modded armors available. I should be able to find something that exactly matches up to what I want. But sometimes that exact look that you're going for is a vanilla set. And I thought the chitin really fit well with this guy. It's kind of this slipshod, ramshackle mashup of pieces of chitin and leather. And I thought that the Apotheos hood actually was a nice little embellishment on it that kind of made it sort of like a fish out of water type thing. Somebody who's not used to dealing with all the ash and the dust and the heat might have to have a little bit more protection in the way of a mask and a hood, maybe, that a natural-born Ashlander would not. And I really like the aesthetic with the spear on the back, too. Yeah, the chitin I really like. The bone mold stuff, I'm not really a fan of in general. It's a little too yellowy. But who knows? I might be able to think up a character concept at some point that it fits with. Yeah, I wish the hood didn't clip quite as much as it does. It's really minor on the back. And like I was saying, I'll quick save here and then do... You can mitigate the clipping by... So there's some clipping right on the center of the chest there, where the scarf kind of clips into the armor there. And by manipulating the weight slider, you can kind of get rid of the clipping on there if we make them real skinny. And of course, this is gonna destroy the preset, but I have a save. And that seems to mitigate the problem completely. But since Wallows is kind of a badass with that spear, I figured he'd be a little beefier, so I didn't want him all puny, you know? He's no weenie lizard. Ebon Steel Bone Mold? Is that part of Immersive Armors? I think it is. Hunterborn, I actually am a fan of. I like a lot, but the armor, some of the armor pieces and some of the weapons, I'm not a huge fan of. But what it adds to the game, I like a lot in terms of gameplay and stuff. Weenie lizard. Yeah, okay, so thanks for joining me. I had fun, you know, once we got the stream stable enough, explaining the different concepts behind this character and everything, and I'm glad you all liked the video and everything. I worked really hard on it. And looking forward to seeing your different concepts too, if you have any. But yeah, until next time, thanks for joining and sticking with me this whole time through the different incarnations of the stream. Do appreciate it. And until next time, take care. See you guys.